John 8:38. Ego quod vidi apud patrem loquor, et vos quae vidistis apud patrem vestrum facitis. I speak that which I have seen with my Father, and you all do those things which you have seen with your Father. This is a very pointed statement that Jesus is making here. We're going to focus in on just a couple of things. First of all, we want to notice this phrase and idiom, apud patrem. In the second case, apud patrem vestrum. This is a fun and interesting use of the word apud with a person to mean with or near that person, in the company of that person, for instance. Sometimes you can use it with pronouns to simply mean at your own house or at someone else's house, something like that, among you where you naturally dwell. So you could say apud nos, with us, literally, but sort of equivalent of some phrases in modern European languages we can think of. For instance, in French, chez nous, at our place. I can remember my parents, who are native German speakers, sometimes saying the equivalent, which is bei uns, among us, or at our house. This is how we do things. Apud nos means the same thing. So that's a good phrase to be aware of. We want to notice here that the phrase is varied in the second case to distinguish one pater from another, and the editors have distinguished this with a capital and lack of a capital, respectively, as well. So Jesus is drawing a distinction here. I say that which I have seen, that is, I recount, essentially, what I have seen with or in company of my Father, and you all, then here we get a relative clause, just like this one earlier, what you have seen in company with your Father, that is what you all do. That's facitis, second person plural, present active indicative. Vidistis, second person plural, perfect active indicative. Y'all's Father, to use a southernism there. The point he's making here is these are not the same person. My Father is not the same as your Father. And since he's just been talking about Father Abraham, whom his interlocutors regard as their ancestor, this is an extremely inflammatory implication to make. And we'll see in a few verses down the line in this chapter, this is going to come out into the open. And spoiler alert, the pater he's thinking of in the second case here is not God the Father.